Now, I really feel like that you should have a pretty good understanding because of the last test. The ways you can prove lines are parallel. If the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are automatically what? Parallel. If alternate exterior angles are congruent, the lines are automatically what? Parallel. If consecutive interior angles are supplementary, then the lines are automatically what? And if alternate interior angles are congruent, the lines are what? Parallel. Two lines perpendicular to the same line are automatically what? Parallel. Now, that's true if you say they're in the same plane. Everybody agree with that? All right? They have to be in the same plane. All right? Now, again, those are all the different possible ways. All right? Those are all the different possible ways. Now, I would also like to say this, that that all of them can be proven except for, I think we talked about this, or I may have mentioned it just briefly, corresponding angles. All right? Corresponding angle postulate. All right? That means what? Again, they're just telling you through observation that if the corresponding angles are congruent, the lines must be what? Parallel. Everything else, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, alternate interior, and perpendicular lines can be what? Proven. However, in order to prove them, you're going to have to write that the corresponding angles are congruent. Everybody with me? So each one of them, to prove that they're congruent, you're going to have to show that the corresponding angles are congruent. All right? So again, that's where, to me, kind of like the contradiction comes in. But you have to prove lines are parallel through those methods. All right? Now, I don't really care about the examples, so let's just get right down to it here. Question number 1. All right? If line L is parallel to M, then what is true? What has to be true, guys? That has to be true. Exactly. Those are alternate exterior angles. So I don't think that's a challenge, right? So X would be what? 15. And again, listen to me, guys. I'm a big fan of doing work in your head. All right? Now, on the worksheets, I would like for you to practice doing that. All right? I would like everybody to look at that and just say, obviously, X is equal to 15. All right? Now, we're going to identify this as what? These are alternate exterior angles. In question number 2, they are what? They are alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are what? Are equal. So in this case, everybody would just say what? I think X would equal 10. X equals 10. Any questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? All right? And again, listen. Some grades are not where they should be. And some of you guys continue not to focus in right now. All right, it's not a time to mess around. I'm telling you, you don't have much time, and then you're going to be stuck with a B. All right, and then your transcript's going over when you're going into Jesuit or wherever you want to go there, looking at the grades. All right? So I'm not trying to scare you or anything. I'm trying to teach you to concentrate right now, so I can help you if you need the help. Play outside of class. Number 3. Here we go. These are what? But I want you, oh, that's actually, well, okay, so here they've kind of made a minor mistake. Somebody tell me what the minor mistake is on this worksheet. Tell me.
They're trying to show that they're perpendicular.
Very good, very good. They made alternate interior. So you're correct on that. But what would I, if I would, the mistake was made was what? What's the mistake? Nope, I don't think that. Yes, come on.
I was going to say which one's interior.
Oh, I know. They made a line of alternate.
Okay, so listen. One of the reasons is here. 2 lines perpendicular to the same line. Do you agree? Everybody see that? So over here, since one is perpendicular, but they didn't tell me what.
The other was good.
They didn't tell me the other one was perpendicular. Is everybody with me on this? So I want everybody to make yourself a note of that. I'm just trying to demonstrate all the different reasons why lines can be parallel. Now, do you agree, guys, that those are what? Perpendicular to the same line. Therefore, they are what? Therefore, they are parallel. Right? Two lines perpendicular to the same line make them what? Parallel. Everybody good with that? So, what does 3x plus 15 have to be equal to? Now, I'm asking you what 3x plus 15 has to equal? 90. Correct? And now you can solve it from there. So, x would equal 25. So, now look, guys. In my opinion, what's the easiest, quickest way to solve that equation? What would I do?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3 first. I really think dividing by 3 first. Is everybody with me on this? As long as you do what? Divide them all by 3. All right? So again, in my head, mathematically, I can just look at that and say x plus 5 is what? 30. And that's how some people are working the equations quicker. All right? And that's what I want ultimately for you, is to be able to look at things and just say, obviously, x is equal to what?
25.
X is equal to 25. Although your math teacher next year might be mad at you if you just plumbed it. What?
Why is 30 minus 15
Um,
Why is not?
no, I didn't say 30 minus 15. I said if I divide everything through by 3,
Oh,
I get x
I got
plus
it.
5.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right? Very important. So over here, we would say, in order for those to be parallel, those are what again? Those are the alternate interior angles. All right, so they must be what? The same, so x would have to be what? X would equal 7. Very simple. All right, any questions? All right, let's move on. Number 5, those are alternate exterior, so they have to be equal. So we would say x is equal to, x equals 20. You're all right. X equals 20.
Oh.
All right? Any questions? Any questions? All right, here we go. Question number 6. Those are what? So those are corresponding. So in this case, x would be what? Now, should I divide by 5 first?
No.
To me, dividing by 5 is not as easy. Right? Exactly. All right, so x equals 10. Any questions or concerns? All right, let's move on. All right. Now, we're going to do a proof here real quick. So let's see what we have. We're trying to prove that line L is parallel to M, and we're trying to prove that R is parallel to S. So, again, let's see. What's that? All right. Why is angle 15 congruent to angle 5? Yeah, so far so good. We're at given. All right. Now, in my opinion, I write the given first. All right, only because I like to mark the figure to see what I need. All right. So they're telling me the other part of the given is here. All right. But I would just go ahead and write at the beginning. All right. But you don't have to, obviously. So question 5 would be angle 1 is congruent to what? Angle 5. Now, of course, I would mark the figure. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. And we would say angle 15 is congruent to angle 5. Is everybody with me on that? Now, why is angle 13 congruent to angle 15? Vertical angles, right? Right. Now, generally we say that's a theorem, vertical angle theorem, all right, VAT. If you want to write down, because you don't remember it's a theorem, if you just want to write down all vertical angles are congruent, that's perfectly acceptable to me. All right. Vertical angle theorem simply says that vertical angles are always congruent. All right. So now I'm marking. Now, is it okay that I'm marked everything with a single line so far? Because 1 is congruent to 5, right? And 5 is congruent to 15. So they're all congruent, right? So now I marked 13. So again, I have what? I have, they're all congruent to each other so far. They're all congruent to each other. All right? So now it says angle 5 is congruent to angle 13. We could definitely say that's a substitution. No, the reason, listen, again, that's a very good question, and that's where some people get themselves in trouble. All right? We are trying to prove that they're parallel. Do you agree? So I can't say corresponding angles are congruent yet because I haven't proven what? That the lines are parallel. Right? If the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are what? Parallel. That's what we're trying to state. All right? So y is angle, or not angle, but why is line R now, why is line R parallel to S? Go ahead.
Because 15 is congruent to 5. And
So, good. So if 15 is congruent to 5, what are those?
Yeah.
You could say alternate exterior angles. You could also say
that 13 and 5
are
are congruent.
because, well, they are congruent, so what type of angles is what I'm trying to say?
12 corresponding.
Yes, those are corresponding. So you have a choice there, and it doesn't matter to me. All right, but I'm trying to get you, even though it's not really that big of a deal, it would be the corresponding angle what? Postulate. All right? Right, that's the only postulate. The others are what?
Theorems.
The others are theorems. So depending on what you want. All right? But we will say here because, well, they're saying to me, because they said this is true, I would use that information. Everybody with me? So instead of saying alternate exterior, I would just say what? Corresponding. All right? They're parallel because corresponding angles are what? Are congruent. All right? And if you want to write corresponding angle postulate, I'm okay with that. But again, that's fine. All right. Now, because 1 is congruent to 5, right?
Line L is
Yes, line L is parallel to M. All right. I don't think that's that bad. All right. So let's move on. Let's see what it says next. All right, I want to go down to number 11 because I really kind of want, I don't think those problems are an issue. All right, I think the proofs might be an issue. So let's take a look at question number 11. All right, provide a reason for each statement in the proof of theorem 3.7. Angle 1 and 2 are complementary. BC is perpendicular to CD. All right, so here BC is perpendicular to CD. That's how I'd write that. Now, technically, if angle 1 and 2 are complementary, then what does that mean about these two? That equals 9 degrees too. So instead of making it so big like that, what I'll do is I'll just pull it up. So that's true. Okay? All right, let's see how good you're doing. All right, BC is perpendicular to CD. That is given. Now, angle ABC, don't be confused by this now. Angle ABC, the measure of angle ABC is equal to the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2. Okay, very good. Angle addition postulate. Very good. Angle addition postulate. Angle addition postulate. Now, why are angle 1 and 2 complementary? Given. And why does the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equal 90? Definition of complementary. Now, why does the measure of angle ABC equal 90?
Substitution.
Substitution. Now remember, listen guys, I don't care if the same people answer all the time. I wish the rest of you would jump in. All right, this is a class where I want everybody to just say something. And I kind of like the fact that Isaac was wrong, because it's not the end of the world. When he said x was equal to what? What did you say? When x was equal to 4, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. The only way you're going to learn better is, or to understand geometry better, is if you say something, even if it's wrong. You're thinking about it at least. If you're just writing down my work, you're not learning. You should have statement 5 done, statement 6 done, statement 7 done before I write them down. If you don't know, that's okay also. But you should be thinking about what everybody else is saying. And I want everybody to just tell me what the answer is. All right? I don't think it's rude to jump in when someone's stuttering through trying to figure out something. Just say it. Help them. All right? But participate. All right? That's how you're getting smarter. All right? So we said definition of complementary. So now, what for 5?
Substitution.
Good, I'm listening.
Okay, so you put that it's the definition of complementary. How do you know that it's complementary equals 90? But no, but how do you know that B is what's it called? 93 angle.
Okay, so I understand, I think what your question.
Oh, okay, never mind, I get it.
All right, so what did we say 5 was the reason?
Substitution.
Substitution. Now, like I said, you should have that down. Everybody should have 6 done. Everybody should have 7 done. You're one step ahead. So why is BA perpendicular to BC?
Definition of perpendicular.
Very good. Definition of perpendicular, right? If they form a right angle, then they're automatically what? That's what perpendicular means. 2 lines are perpendicular if what? If they form a right angle. So if they form a right angle, then they are what? Perpendicular. All right? So that would be definition of perpendicular. Now, why is BA parallel to CD?
Because they're both Oh, it should be.
What is it? Grace, what? Why are they parallel? Let her answer real quick. Here, we're right here. Why is BA parallel to CD? Why? Same. Yes. All right, perfect. So listen, when somebody says prove that they're parallel, you have to find what? Corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, or perpendicular to the same line. Lines that are perpendicular to the same line are parallel. Those are your 5 choices. This one is particularly hard because the last one is not as obvious, I think. People forget. Now, if, let's say, something crazy, and I'm going to go ahead and write this, I would say lines perpendicular to the same line are parallel. Now, could somebody do that completely different? Yes. You could say what? That the consecutive interior angles are going to be what? What are the consecutive interior angles going to be?
90.
No, not congruent. What? So let's look back at, if you forgot, just flip back to your notes. I don't think so. I don't think that's what one of the notes said. The 5 reason.
They're supplementary.
I'm trying to show you now how it's easy. Right? They discussed consecutive, right? Does everybody agree with me on that picture? They were consecutive interior, right? So you go to your notes. What do consecutive interior angles have to be?
Supplementary.
Supplementary, parallel. So again, personally, the last one here, if two lines are perpendicular to the same line or parallel, to me, that doesn't even have to be there. Because if they are perpendicular, then they both equal what? 90. And because they both equal 90, that makes them what? Supplementary, which then qualifies it to be what? Consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Is everybody with me on that? So, okay. So this one, to me, right here, could be wiped out. That's not necessary. Why is that not necessary? Because this one, right here, takes care of that one. Because consecutive interior angles, if they're both perpendicular, are what? 90 degrees, correct? And if the consecutive interior angles are 90 degrees, then that means they have to be what? Supplementary. Is everybody with me on this? You understand me now, right? So again, for those of you guys, and I'm only saying this because you can prove things differently. Is everybody with me? So if you didn't see this in that problem, you could have made the proof longer and just done what? Consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Is everybody with me now? All right? So there's lots of ways to prove it. All right? And that's, again, why I prefer to write my own proofs. Quickly, good.
Okay, so I don't understand, like, okay, this
go
is
back.
sound really stupid.
No, it's okay.
But
it really is.
I don't see how, like, they're perpendicular. Like, I understand that, like, they're both, like, right angles or whatever, so, like, they're perpendicular.
Okay.
But I thought the perpendicular was, like, the line with, like, line.
So again, here is the issue, I believe. The issue is that you didn't extend it, right? So let me show you what I mean. Right? I think this will help you. If I drew that.
Yeah, no, I
You see what I'm saying now, right?
Yeah. It's
If
just
I
a
extend
box,
them
so it's
right,
weird.
yes, and again, I'm totally with you on that. But if you extend this and
Yeah.
then you can see
Okay.
that that's what they're talking about. Perpendicular lines form what? 4 right angles. All right, that's what they're trying to say. All right, and if it's if it's a little bit different, it is harder to see. That's why I say geometry is harder because it's more of a visual. Generally, people who are good at visualizing things sometimes do better in geometry. But if you're not good at visualizing, you can get better because you have to draw it out so you can see it. All right, that's the difference. All right, so here we go. Let's find something else fun. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at number 8. All right, write a 2-column proof. If angle 2 and 3 are supplementary, prove AB is parallel.
Oh, isn't that just?
I mean, I'm not even, I don't know what they're trying to do on that.
Isn't that just that one step?
Yeah, I mean, that's nothing. All right, that's nothing. Right, exactly. Angle 2 and 3 are supplementary given, right? And they're consecutive interior angles, therefore
They're supplementary.
They're parallel. Yeah, again, that's not even challenging. I don't know why that's there. That should be not even there. All right. Yeah. So again,
Practice right there.
say it again.
Down right there. For number 1.
Right here.
Number 1 on 3 practice. Would that be the supplement here?
Yes. If it, I don't even have to look at it, right? Because the 2 angles add up to 180. So the only theorem that says that they're supplementary is the consecutive interior. You okay on that? So again, guys, I think that's good today. Now, we're going to do one more section tomorrow. Might be a couple little baby proofs on there, right? Just kind of like today. But then I'm going to pass out a big worksheet that just has all proofs. All right. And again, to me, again, if you're not going through the proofs, listen, it's going to be disaster. It's not something you go home on Thursday before the test and study and come back on Friday and say, oh yeah, now I'm not doing it. It's not like that. All right, you have to practice a little bit every single day. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you've got to do more, not less. Quick.
Are you gonna answer the
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I did.
No,
Actually.
it's not in
All right. Okay. So. Oh, did I put it in as homework? I'll double check. I'll double check. But yeah, I think I did. I'll look at it again. But listen, last week actually there was something wrong with the what's called my backpack because I entered grades and then they were wiped out. So that might have been the case for you guys as well. So I will double check. All right. What quickly, Carter? Come on.
Is there gonna be a test this week?
No, there
it's
is no.
next Friday, right?
Yeah, but probably it'll be next Thursday. All right.
You're off school.
Because we don't have school. And I just got lucky that my days are now Thursday and Friday.
This week's like